Welcome to our training on Panopto and Canvas. For today's agenda, we will be learning how to enable Panopto in Canvas, how to add Panopto content to the Canvas course space, how to integrate a Panopto quiz into the Canvas gradebook, and how to employ best practices when using Panopto in Canvas. So the first thing to note with Panopto is we need to enable it in the Canvas course space. It is not enabled by default. So if you are navigating your Canvas navigation menu and Panopto video is not there, that means that you haven't added it yet. So what we can do is select Settings, which is typically the last link on the Canvas navigation menu. So by selecting Settings, it will take us to a place where we can choose Navigation as one of these top menu tabs. If you select Navigation, all of the items in the top of the navigation are ones that are currently active on the navigation menu. The ones down below are inactive. So you will want to find the Panopto video link in the lower part and select and drag it up to the top part. And importantly, make sure to navigate to the bottom of the page and choose Save to actually activate that link. Now it should be added to your navigation menu in Canvas. And I'm going to go ahead and select that to show you what this is like. When you go into the Panopto video link, this is now available to you and to your students to see. So it is important to note that you cannot hide the Panopto video menu and still have it be available to you. So if you hide it from students, it's also hidden from the instructor. Unlike the Canvas native features such as pages, files, outcomes, sometimes we choose to hide those on the menu, but they're still available to the instructor. That's not the case for Panopto video because it's an integration. If we hide it, it goes away for both of you. So we will talk about some solutions to that if you do want to hide this menu later on, or if you don't, and how to control the settings of the videos. So we will get to that a little bit later in this training. Another important note is that you will need to add the Panopto video menu in each of your Canvas courses that you want to use it in. Okay, so let's get into actually adding Panopto videos to content areas. Because right now, if you've created a video here in your Panopto link or folder, as we call it, they are just sitting there and students will have to go there to access this, which is sometimes okay, but a lot of times instructors want to include these links and videos somewhere in their modules because that's where students tend to be going to get their content for the course. So we will show you how to include Panopto in the modules. There are two ways to do this. One is using an external URL tool, and the other one is through using something called external tool. So I will be demonstrating both of those today. We'll start with external URL. We like to use this one because it's an ideal option for showing students all of the features like the table of contents, closed captioning, notes, bookmarks. These will all display without further instruction to your students, so that's kind of a nice thing for accessibility purposes. So the first thing you need to do to set it up with the external URL is find the Panopto video in your folder, and if you hover over whichever video you would like to use, there will be a share button, and if you select that, you will have the option to copy the link at the bottom, and you can just select copy link and it will copy that for you. So I can close out the video. So now I have the link copied and ready to be added into the modules. So I'm going to navigate to modules and I want to put this in my week 2 module. That's where I want this particular video to live. So I will select the gray plus within that module. And we have an option for adding different things. In this case, we will want to add external URL. So select external URL from the drop-down list, and then you can paste in that link that you just copied. You will also want to give this a page name. This is the name that will appear to your students. So maybe this is your week 2 video, or maybe you have a more specific name. That's what you can put in right there. And we do want to check load in a new tab. That has some accessibility reasons behind it as well. And then select the crimson add item at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and publish this so we can view it. So now if you select your week 2 video, and this is where students can select it as well, this opens up the Panopto video, and it has the contents, notes, bookmarks, closed captioning can be turned on. So all of those features are there for the students when they're viewing that video. Okay, so that's one method. Another method is using external tool. I'll show you how to set this up. The one thing we note is that some further instruction will be needed for students to access the closed captioning and table of contents and things. So the first way to do this, we will go into modules again. And this time, I'll go into week 2 again. Select the plus button. And right under external URL, we have the option for external tool. This will load in all of the external tools that we have integrated with Canvas. And so I will navigate to P for Panopto and select that. This will then load up your Panopto library. So if you have any videos in there already, you can select from those. It also gives you the option to upload right there, or you can even start recording right there in that screen. So in this case, I'm going to select a video that we already have and select insert. Again, you do have the option to change the name and load in a new tab here. So I will go ahead and select the crimson add item. And now we have another video. Let me select this. Load it in the new tab. And you'll notice that in this case, the Panopto video loads up into a full screen, unlike the other one using the external URL. So if students want to access the captions or any of the other Panopto features, they will need to find it looks kind of like an arrow pointing to the top right corner. That gives them the option to watch in Panopto. And then that will take them to the same view that they had with the external URL tool. So it's very similar, but it's one more step for students if they need to get over to the captions or any of those features. So that's external tool. So you probably noticed in both of those cases, external URL and external tool, the videos were opening in a new tab. They were not embedded within a Canvas page. So sometimes instructors might want to have their Panopto videos embedded within a page. And so I'm going to show you 2 options for doing that right now. The first is with an external link. Kind of like with the external tool, this is the preferred option because it gives students access to all of those features. So how we're going to do this is we will want to copy the link. Mine's probably still copied, but I'm going to go ahead and go in here and copy a link just in case. Then I'm going to go back into my modules, and this time I'm going to keep working in week 2. I'm going to select the gray plus icon. This time I'm just going to create a page. So maybe you've created a page before that you've added some content on. I'll call this Panopto page. And I need to navigate into that page by selecting it. And editing. So this will bring me into what's called the rich content editor. And now I can hyperlink some text if I want to. So maybe I've had some information about week 2, and now I want to include the week 2 video. So I will select that, link. There is an icon for links, select that and choose external link. And then I will paste in that Panopto link and select done. So now if I save this with the crimson save bottom button, this will have a link to the video right there within the page, and students can select that and be taken into that Panopto view with the captions and all of those features. So that's the option for linking in a page. The last way we're going to show to add Panopto in a non-graded format is through an app insert. So in this case, and I think I'll just go into this same page. Let's try this. So again, if you're in a page or an assignment or somewhere within Canvas that you would like to add your Panopto video, Canvas has within the rich content editor a green symbol. That's the Panopto video symbol. So if you select that symbol, this will bring up your Panopto video library again, and you can either choose upload or record the video that you want to go there and insert it. So in this case, it actually inserts the video right there. So if we save that, students can watch the video right there in the screen. Again, just a note, if students are needing captions or wanting to access any of those other features and you set it up this way, they will need to select that arrow to go out and watch this in Panopto. Okay? The next thing is if you want to use the one graded method for adding Panopto videos to content areas in Canvas. So in the Panopto Basics training, we explain how to add a quiz to your Panopto videos. So if you've added quizzes and you would like that to integrate with your Canvas gradebook, then this next part will explain how to do that. So what you want to do in this case, I'm going to navigate back to modules. And this time, I want to create an assignment because assignments are graded unlike pages. So I'm going to create an assignment. I'm going to call this Panopto quiz. And I'm going to add that assignment. Now I need to go in and edit this. So now in order to turn this assignment into a Panopto assignment, what we will do is select the submission type and change it to external tool. Then you can go in and find Panopto from the external tool options. Choose the video you want or upload or record. Insert, choose the red crimson select, and then of course we will want to save. I'm going to go ahead and save and publish. Now Now this will appear as a Panopto quiz that students can load in a new window. They can watch the video, access the video, take the quiz, and then let's navigate to the gradebook and make sure that the Panopto quiz is showing up in our gradebook. So let me navigate through here. There it is, Panopto quiz. I didn't assign any points when I was setting that up, but you can add points to the assignment, and then that will give students points depending on how they scored on the quiz. Okay, just a little note that if you create Panopto videos in your course and you want to reuse them in a future course, you will need to move or copy those, and we have information for that on our website, or you can contact us if you need help figuring out how to do that. All right, so the last thing for today, now that we've gone over how to add the videos, is we will go back to discussing what to do about this Panopto video menu if you would like to have it be hidden. So as we mentioned earlier, you can't hide it from the students while still having it available to you. So by default, students will be able to select the Panopto video menu and have access to all of the videos in the folder. You do not have to make any changes. If this is how you want students to access your videos, then just leave it like that, and that is fine. But if you would like to control the availability of your Panopto videos, we will cover 3 different options for you. So solution 1 is to enable the Panopto video menu only when recording videos. So you could enable it as we did earlier by going through settings and navigation and moving it up to the top. And you can record your video or videos, and then you can hide it by going to settings, navigation, and dragging it down when you're done recording. So even if you disable and hide that menu item, students will still be able to see the videos as long as you linked them somewhere, like we discussed earlier, added them to the modules or added them to a page. They'll be able to access them there. So that's one option, is just disabling it when you're done recording. Solution 2 is to set the availability of your videos through the video settings. So you could choose to leave the Panopto video as an option on the menu, but then just control when these videos are available for students. So in order to do this, you can hover over the video that you want to set the availability on, and a menu will pop up. And if you select settings, there is an overview tab, and then navigating down toward the bottom, there is an availability area, and you can change the start date and time, and if you would like to leave it open for the whole semester, or if you want it to close after a certain amount of time, you can adjust those availability settings there. So they will not be able to see the video either in the Panopto folder or in any other areas such as the modules or pages until that availability date and time comes up. Okay, and just to note, you can also set the order that videos appear in this folder if you'd like. So if you go to the Panopto folder settings, there is an order tab, and you can move these around easily if you would like to do that. Okay, then the last solution, solution 3, is you can choose record when you're using the external tool or insert app options. So if you would like to hide Panopto video from the menu, and just record and insert as an app, as we showed earlier in this video, or as an external tool, then you can do that. You can do all your recording right there, through a page or through Canvas. So you can just keep it disabled and simply record when you want to add a new video. Okay. So those are 3 ways to go about thinking about how you want students to access the videos, or you can leave it as is. Thank you for attending this training today. If you need any more support with Panopto or any of our other EdTech tools or with Canvas, you can visit our website. We have a lot of resources there, and it will have the latest information on our various support options. Thank you for attending.